Peaceful Shabbat, blessed Shabbat. You know what I'm saying? Beautiful day. It's hot, man. I'm trying to beat the heat. I even had to put some ice in my vino. I know that's a no-no, but it's hot. It's hot, man. Hopefully you guys are beating the heat. We understand that there's a lot of, man-made environmental changes. So don't think this heat is just, all these forest fires and all that stuff popping off, man. But y'all stay focused. The more unreal it gets, the more real you become. The more unreal, the more of this illusion just gets unreal, chaotic, the more real you are. So be anchored. It's time to be anchored now. It's time to say, okay, I've been studying all this time. I've been, what can I anchor myself in? Can I anchor myself that it's all about energy? Can I anchor myself that I am energy in my simplest form? Therefore, I must be tuned. I must tune myself, via my diet, my mind, what I'm taking in, what I'm absorbing, the frequency that I'm absorbing, the music frequency, the frequency from the television. We look forward to coming at you, man, with all kind of great products to help you tune all these things. And that's really what I'm trying to really work on, is getting very simplistic products to get out there. But these are technical based. So, I'm trying to really behind the scenes get at my techies and start getting these things, going, you know what I mean? So, in the meantime, we read. In the meantime, we meditate. In the meantime, we can tune our songs, in batches and individually, and you can come, relax in our vibe suites. And when you go to our vibe suites, that's just a skeleton. Don't go crazy. I know, I want to put thousands, and when we had everything going on with a radio station on Live 365, we had thousands of songs in rotation. We had different categories and things like that. So we're literally rebuilding everything in our own platform. So be patient, but we do have some great love songs in that Lovers Rock suite, some wonderful jazz vibrations in that Mimosa suite. We got the reggae lounge, man. We got the basement, the rap, lounge. We got the alternative stuff, the high road. Check out the high road. And it's fun, man. It's fun to do that, but it takes, time. And I appreciate those that have been reaching out saying, yo, I got some time, man. I want to do that. So be patient. We're going to get to you. I'm going to get to you to, help, usher in, just more of positive, vibration, man. So we can all kind of, do that teamwork, make a dream work, man. Shout out to Ra the Great One. So let me just get to a quick June roll call, and then I want to start reading in Exodus, man, because I think, it's timely, right? It's timely to get a fresh look, a fresh perspective on the book of Exodus, and I don't know what's going to come out of it. Specifically, it's not like I have a whole lesson plan, all that kind of stuff. I just like to kind of, put the vibration out there, So I think it's a good time to return to some of these ancient vibrations, man, and, get that going. So, peace to my little guy, it's that time for him to relax and rewind. So, we will get to this, man. Man, I'm just going to shout out some, great individuals that have been really contributing great vibrations. And if I miss you, it's not because I don't love you. It's just because I just got my screen up and I'm just kind of going to go off of what I see right here, right quick. So, June roll call, man. I want to give some love, one, just to, those that have always, from day one, man, been kicking they drop, putting their own self out there, man, and putting the videos out. All the new YouTube authors that said, man, Lex Will's doing it, Hiram Art's doing it, Let Us Find the Truth is doing it. Maybe I can put my camera up and read some things too, man. Smiles in Hallway, Wonderful Holcomb, all these, it's a beautiful thing, man, and I'm new. When you look at my page, I've only been dropping it in this particular fashion for the last month and a half, man, or 2 months. So, we're all new. That's good. This is a new energy. That's good. That's a good thing. All right. So, Mikael, Benya, he gave a wonderful comment. I don't know Hebrew like a lot of these brothers know Hebrew, but he says, Haggadah et Heya, Haggadah et Heya. The great I am, I retune to 432, and it is the most relaxing to die. Love you, man. Thank you. And, this return to 432 is our return, honestly, to our organic, type of, simplistic vibration. You know what I mean? When we look at like where we're going, we're not only just returning, you know what I'm saying, to 432, we are going into a higher octave, you know what I'm saying? When you check out those bass frequencies and all that kind of stuff like that. So 432 is the double, you know what I'm saying? It is that next octave up that we are seeking. I'm not in 432 yet. You know what I'm saying? A lot of us are trying to get there, but we know that above the firmament, that's where it begins at 432, at 864. You keep doubling up, you're in high octave. You double down, you're in lower octaves. You know, that 216, you know, from, you know, what I'm gathering on my side, and some other people are substantiating, that's, you know, a bass organic frequency. That's not a disharmonic frequency, but the 216 appears to be a frequency that is a signature of man. You know what I'm saying? That energetic vibration of a simplistic breakdown at our particular vibration, if that makes, you know, if that's able to be, you know, absorbed by you. And we're all just trying to figure this out. So this 216 then goes into 432. This 432 is, you know, that conscious, that conscious vibration, that higher level. You know what I'm saying? Each one of your vibrational centers has a certain frequency. Your heart, your throat, your abdomen, you know, all throughout, you know, your base. So when you get into that consciousness, you know, your pineal gland has a frequency, you know, all the way up. So the frequency of your crown chakra is that 432. That 432, you know, that 4 plus 3 plus 2, that law of nines, those numbers, that 144. A sister gave a great comment, and, you know, Hallway CH touched on that in this video. I appreciate you doing that, because now you're bringing in some great substantiating stuff. So I can dig that, you know. So let's just get through this roll call, because you know me, man, I'm going to keep going. But this brother said he returned to 432. And yeah, you know, we are returning to our consciousness. You know what I'm saying? We are now getting into that point where there's not going to be a divide between the frequency of us and the frequency of hey. But there had to be. And now you see why. Because of these lower vibrations, they can't get to the throne. They're not supposed to be in the higher heavens. You are created to be in the higher heavens. So we are returning to our natural state. And that's what the brother's breaking down. And I appreciate you, brother Mikael Binya. Let's get to the brother Uno on the beats. Uno on the beats. Love you, King. Very supportive, steady energy. And he said, my brother, I'm so thankful to Heya for leading me into brothers like you and Lex Will. Let us find the truth. Like I said, these kings are steady getting it. Let us find the truth got one of the dopest platforms, man, where he's building up a library. I might have to just download all these books. I started downloading all these books that he's putting up in his library. His blog's amazing. His chat room's amazing. I'm learning so much from the way he's building his platform to where I can even make mine better and connect with his directly. You know what I'm saying? So I want to get that same chat room format going on over at the drop. So this brother's really cutting edge with how he's putting his platform together. Check out Let Us Find the Truth. You know what I'm saying? Go to his page, click on his site. It's right there as soon as you get to his homepage. I'll put the link down here. And yeah, man, I mean, just an amazing resource. Uno on the beats. He recognizes that. So he says, yo, man, I'm grateful. I'm thankful to Hey for leading me into brothers like you and Lex Will. Let us find the truth. You guys help me wake up these people around me with these videos. I'm sure you know how hard it is for people to take your word for and direction out of these books. Again, I thank you, brothers. And we're not asking nobody to take our word for it. That's the beautiful thing. And I know this brother understands this already. We're just saying, go read. Go absorb it. It's not going to get brought to you. No one's going to teach you this in school. No one's going to teach you that your frequency connects to the throne. No one's going to teach you that you are the indigenous people here. No one's going to teach you that you are the seed, the energy of of the Creator. That his ruach being breathed into you is his signature. When he says, only you have I known, that is his signature. His specific signature that automatically connects to the throne. Now you see why everyone has formed a confederacy against you, done treaties against you. Black, white, don't matter. Melanin is a beautiful thing. It represents, you know what I'm saying, nature itself. It represents, you know, being indigenous itself. You know what I'm saying? You see that melanin, you know that's an indigenous trait. But we also understand that we are different tribes. And these different tribes, these different indigenous tribes have this melanin, have their own seed, have their own connection, have their own energy. And although we might go back, you know what I'm saying, to the same source, we've all had different, you know, patterns and different mixes and different situations. So we got to understand straight up that when a confederacy was formed against us, it was also against our energy. It wasn't just against us. So I look at myself in the mirror. Oh, y'all be hating on me. Nah, it's against the energy that is within you. Because that energy within you makes you a king on earth. You got the frequency, you got the ruach, you got that energy of the creator. Straight, direct energy transfer flow. You think everybody got that direct energy transfer flow? Why? Because they got melanin? So, when we read, we understand that we are species, not races, species. And we respect that. We respect the energy. We wake up. Those that are against our wake-up process, those that keep wanting to take us and put us in another group, another category, all this kind of stuff, when no one has been able to nail down who we are here. The greatest scholars of their old world cannot tell you who you are here. None of their books let you know who you are here. But you know. You remember and you teach them. You come back to life and you teach their scholars who you are. You reconnect to the Aztec, the so-called Maya, the Anasazi, the first people, the copper-colored races of the Western Hemisphere, indigenous to the Western Hemisphere. You research which land popped up first after that first deluge. Where are these oldest pyramids? Where is this frequency coming from? Then it was brought into their old world, right? And that's when you get into the Emerald tablets. So, Uno on the beats, love to you. Master, who's this? Master artist, I want to say Rachaman. I don't know the names. Master artist Rachaman. He says, yeah, bro, it's time to get ready with the Most High. Thank you for this vid. When will be time to leave? Shalom. Shalom to you. You know, beautiful Sabbath to you, brother. Master artist Rachaman. That's my best way. I said, peace, king, the time is now. You know, everyone keeps asking, like, when? I'm not a genie. I don't know. I'm just saying, when you see your cities encompassed with armies, you see the armies moving in. We're showing you the tanks moving in. When do you think the time is? Is there like a certain time? Or should you just get out while the getting is good? It's real simple. We think we need people to answer these things for us, man. It's when you're awake and you know you've been invaded, you gotta exit the plantation. It's very simple. Where do you go to exit the plantation? That's when you get into this route that Hiram Art is kicking, Lex Will is kicking, Let Us Find the Truth is kicking, Hallway CH, Winifred, Smiles, you know, everyone's kicking and letting you know who you are. Smooth's perspective is kicking it. Let's see. Oh yeah, let's see. Robert Tillman, he said, drop, my son has been diagnosed with schizophrenia. I believe frequency plays a part. How do I fix my music to be 432 or anything such as TV, etc.? And that's exactly what we started with is, you know, one, peace to your family, King. Again, you know, all we can really digest here is that energy has to play a huge role in this thing. No one can say that playing 432 music is going to be a cure for X, Y, and Z. All I know is that it's a start, right? I mean, it's not going to hurt any of us with ailments or any of us suffering to be in an organic vibe, an organic vibration, to get off of the McDonald's. I mean, that is a start. So peace to your family, and, you know what I'm saying, my prayers are with your son. And, you know what I'm saying, I truly, you know, pray that the great I am, man, is able to, you know, use that frequency, man, and put that. I know he is, and I pray he's willing to do that. And I believe he is, you know what I'm saying? So, you know, let your vibration speak for itself, King. How do you do it? You can go to, you know what I'm saying, we got tutorials and stuff like that with Audacity. If you go to 432thedrop.com, click on what is 432 hertz, you know what I'm saying, you should get some more information that way. You can always just go on YouTube, you know, how do I convert music to 432? You can use Audacity, programs like we always put out, return to 432.org. It's like $19.99. You can do 25 or 50 songs at a time. So we try to use both. If we're doing big batches of songs, maybe return to 432. If I want to get one particular song and the best version of that 432, then I'll put it in Audacity, put it in that pitch or shift, change pitch, and I'll just put it down a minus 1.776, and that will pretty much give me what I feel is the best vibration of, you know, that 432 connection with the tuner I have and whatnot. And, you know, do it your way. You don't have to do it exactly 432 because, like I said, each one of your centers has a different frequency. 432 is on that scale. So that's your crown. Then, you know, each one, you know what I'm saying? So you can experiment with different ones on that same scale. And I'm going to do some drop maybe in a couple of days where I can just break down, you know, the frequencies of each part of your, you know, so-called chakras and energy centers, and how you can, you know, do different ones and try different ones for different things. You know, if you have a heart element, you can tune your vibration, whatever that song is, to the frequency of your heart and that harmonic heart frequency, your throat frequency, again, your root frequency. Your root, everything needs a tune up. And that also goes with diet. And that's what Chef Candy gets kicking. Chef Candy's putting in her book. Chef Aki's putting in her book. You know what I'm saying? I mean, you know, all this stuff is just, you know, each of these colors of these fruits, you know, resonate at a different energy. And it seems like the Most High has color coded this stuff with different, you know, actual, you know, matches. You know what I'm saying? So if you see a red apple, that pertains to that red energy center. You know what I'm saying? I believe that's your base or your root chakra. So you need those red apples for that. You need the green apples for this. You need that. So you follow the color coding to get to different energy centers, and that's how the diet plays. And that's when you're choosing up for real. Man, let's see. Blackavelli, man. Kings of Blackavelli. You know what I'm saying? He said, I was thinking in X-Men Apocalypse that Thoth is Apocalypse, or their interpretation. Yeah, man, they've been interpreting off of this Thoth, this Justice League, this X-Men. All of this superhero stuff is really you. The original Superman is a brother, right? So you research that, you're like, the first black man is a black Superman? Yeah, man, you are Superman. When you read the stories, you know what I'm saying, that Smiles is putting out with Jacob and his sons going after, and Jacob is slaughtering 200,000 people at a time, then Judah slaughters another 200,000. Yeah, man, that's Superman. That's X-Men stuff, right? So you've been doing Superman, X-Men stuff, and now you understand why they made a confederacy against you. Shut your eyes so that you don't have power over them. Not even the dark people want you to have your power back, because you will be a king on earth by default, straight up. This is your earth. You are the heritage of the Creator. They came over here, found you, put you into slavery on your own land. That's what Martin Luther King said. The Negro, you know what I'm saying, finds itself captive in his own land. His own land. You know what I'm saying? Frederick Douglass says the original land of the Negro is America. The original land of the Negro is America. All this stuff has been put in their speeches. The original land, your inhabitant is here. They put you, you know, in captivity on your own land. Copper Color Races, 1828 Webster Dictionary. You look it up. You know what I mean? We found these copper colored people here. So why don't they teach that in school? Why do they teach you that you're spinning when you're not? So Blackavelli, man, he also said using soul transfer to stay alive through time. You know what I'm saying? So this king is all in it, man. He's all in those emerald tablets, man. Love the Blackavelli, love the Smiles. She just always got the drop, you know what I'm saying? You know, so love the Smiles. Styles by Nina. She's the one that this queen brought out, you know. So is the number 144,000 a made up thing, or is that us? You know, and then, you know, my interpretation of the 144,000, I understand it in terms of numerically, right? Because that 144 keeps popping up in terms of, you know, the angles and numbers, and you know, the more you get into the sciences in the Torah, you're going to see the 144. You're going to see it pop up in vibration. When you research something on vibration, you're going to see the 144. Again, you add up 144 is 1 plus 4 plus 4 is 9. So there is definitely, you know, an energy behind it. What they brought in Revelations, you know, is a whole other thing. You know what I mean? So I don't lean on the Revelations concept of 144, but I do understand that it is a natural understanding behind it. And that's when Hallway dropped some great stuff on that. He said, well, 144,000 is in our history. In the Mayan calendar, a unit called the Baktun consists of 144,000 dats, D-A-T-S, which is 394.26 tropical years. 394 is very close to 400, which in Deuteronomy marks our age of slavery. Maybe the English translators rounded 394 to 400. And if that's the case, we should have been left. We should have been left, he's saying. So if that's the case, it's been time to go. Our slavery is up. 400 years is really 394. So people say, well, 400 years, you know what I'm saying, it starts at 1619, so it's going to be up at 2019. Not necessarily. When you look at the 394 instead of 400, it's been up. All right, we're done. That's why we're waking back up. The spirit of stupor's been lifted. Now nothing's keeping us on this plantation but us. We're deciding to be here. How do we get free? Walk out. What do we do? Walk out. Well, what's your solution for the black man, brother? Walk out. What, we're supposed to walk back to Africa? No. Walk to South America? Not yet. Walk out the cities, man. Where? Research where you were before. That's when you get pointed into your four corners. That's why we get pointed back into Utah, 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 Yahuda, Utah, 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 Utah. All right, then you look at the Deuteronomy 34 and you find all these places right there in Utah, and you research and you realize Joseph Smith didn't name this stuff up from scratch, man. He came back and reclaimed it. Just like Columbus said in the Biblioteca de Colombia and Sevilla that he's coming to America to recapture Jerusalem. They all came back here for some holiness, man. Some holy drop. They all came here for the holy drop. All right. Let's see. Let's keep it going. Isaac Ford, man. This king is awesome. You know what I'm saying? He's steady rocking, steady energy. Love to Isaac Ford. He said the vibe suites need some Kendrick, etc. for more conscious. Love to you, man. We're actually working on a suite called Let's Cool One. And Let's Cool One is that conscious vibration. So you're out of the game, man. I got to do this when I can, man. All right. Now, love to you, brother. I'm working on it. Our suite right now is like Pac, Biggie, some Eazy-E. You know what I mean? You know what I'm saying? Some of that gutter, you know, or else, you know, I couldn't walk the streets, man. I couldn't walk back in Inglewood if I didn't have something for my people. And they need something to come vibe to in 432. I mean, if they going to listen to real, you know what I'm saying, West Coast or whatever the case is, East Coast, rap, you know, we're going to call the suite the basement, then they got to be able to take their vibration in it and, you know, at least have it in 432, right? So we need to create a bridge for our people that's, you know what I'm saying, just street familiar. Our street fam got to be able to come here and just kind of feel comfortable too. You know what I'm saying? We might be Christian minded, or not you, brother. I'm saying, you know, a lot of us are, I don't want to hear no curse words. Again, if they were cursing you, you'd be dead, right? So these words are English. They got no power over you. You know what I mean? So, you know, we got to get over, you know, being so hard sometimes on our family. Like this ain't holy enough. But then we'll go see a rated R movie, a Denzel movie, and he's cursing all the way through it, and we love it. And then our brother said we got a platform. We said, well, brother, it's not conscious enough. You know what I'm saying? So, again, you know, this is just where we're at. Because when I first started this radio station, you know, I'd play whatever I wanted to hear. And you got people like, what? The language, my kids might be watching. What, do you take your kids to a rated R movie or X, Y, and Z? I'm telling you, we grown people having grown conversations. All right, none of us are perfect. None of us are this. I'm going to talk the way I talk. You're going to talk the way you talk. Because we need to be real with each other, man. I'm not going to be a different version of myself. And when you come and you hear what you know what I'm saying, my music might be all over the place. I'm not representing nothing. You know what I'm saying, in terms of being, you know, X, Y, you know. A preacher might say, I don't curse, but then the preacher is going to buy a $65 million jet. So that's hypocrisy. So I'm coming at you. I'm King Drop. I'm El Yakin. I'm not a preacher. I'm not a priest. I'm not a prophet. I just got some drop to share with you, if you don't mind. And this is my platform. And this is our platform. And we're putting it together for the community, you know what I'm saying, for free. You dig? So we all going to come vibe out to it. The king said, man, he's looking forward to it. So love to you, Isaac Ford. Again, all that stuff ain't towards you. I'm just talking about the hypocrites sometimes come over and they be like, well, this is, I hear cursing on your radio station. You know what I mean? I'm like, yeah, cool. Well, if you don't want to hear cursing, then watch something rated G. But you're going to come here and hear grown men and grown women voicing their opinions and stuff like that. Don't have your kids around. It might get dropped on them. I'll do a kid-friendly thing, you know what I'm saying? Actually, we got a category that we're building called Kitty Drop. And the Kitty Drop is going to be just kid stuff. So that's where the kids can feel safe. Other than that, we're grown people. We got some things to work out, and we are at war right now. So let's focus on the right things overall. I'm talking. But love to Isaac Ford, because this king is serious and he's real. And he's always giving great comments and feedback. Very positive king. So I love Isaac Ford, man. Love to you, brother. Ray Ortiz, man, he's brand new, man, in his frequency. He's brand new to Drop Nation. He says, first time on your channel, and I subscribe. Love the vibe you're putting out. Peace and love to you and yours. That's as real as it gets, man. You know what I'm saying? This is your vibration. You know what I mean? So, love to you, Ray Ortiz, man. Ortiz, Captain Kush. Captain Kush. One of my favorite brothers in the community is Captain Kush, man, the king, and just lets it go. He lets it go, and I love that. Because when we just let it go, we can actually be pretty authentic. You know what I'm saying? We can get to know each other real fast when we're not front. You know what I mean? So the king just lets it go. You know what I'm saying? And when you rock with truth, you're not afraid of being wrong. It's no fear, right? I could be wrong about 95% of what I say, but I'm doing it to find an anchor in a deeper or authentic or organic version of truth. So if you are able to take whatever I bring and you can make it, you know what I'm saying, more, you know, energized, you can bring more energy into it, and I can understand it at a deeper level or a higher level, then I love you for that. That's what the scriptures mean when, you know, it says, you know, a wise man loves correction. A wise man wants to be tuned up. A wise man wants to choose up. I'm not here building no walls to protect. Oh, well, look. I stand for 4 things. That's the sword I bring to Israel. That's the sword I bring to my community. That's the sword I bring for us to remember. This sword has 4 points. And in the middle of it, here's the middle of the sword, right? So here's the sword, and you flip the sword like this, right? So here's your sword down that way. Here's the butt of the sword, right? You turn that sword right here, right? And right here, here's your center. All that is hey. All this is hey. The whole sword is hey. I'm breaking it down for you. So you got your center part. That's the connection. That's I am that I am. All right. 4 points. You got your frequency. So I talk frequency a lot. I talk energy a lot because that's how you got to break down hey. So you understand that ruach, that spirit, that everlasting energy. You tune up to that energy, right? So you got energy. You got your understanding that you are indigenous to America. That you're the copper-colored races that are from here. You have land here. You have a heritage here. You are rich here. They invaded you and they took your things and they took you into other places like Africa, Portugal, and Spain. They took you from here into those other places, right? So that's our other point. We got hey in the middle. We got our frequency, our 432 drop. We got our indigenous drop. We got our scripture, our word. That's what we're getting into today. All right. We got our writings. We got our frequency. We got our understanding that we are the seed, the energy of the creator, right? So understanding your heritage, that's on this side, you know, whatever side you want to put it on. These are just the 4 points. I'm trying to break this down the best way I can in an abstract way. It's hard, but I'm trying to. This is the sword, all right? This is how I swing my sword. Hey, frequency, 432, indigenous, all right? Seed of the creator, the word, all right, the commandments. Then you got your flat drop. So here's your circle. Hey, 432, you got your energy, you got your indigenous, you got your scripture, you got your word, you got your commandment. Then you got your flat drop. So in the middle, hey, frequency, indigenous, scripture. Then you understand that you're not spinning and that you can be still for the first time in your life. For the first time, you can stop spinning and you can look up and you know your creator, hey, is right above you on the throne. He's not spinning on another ball and you're on another ball. He's above you on the rounded firmament. All right, that shawug, that rounded firmament that he beat out Rakwa and spread out Shamayim like a tent to live in. And you know what a tent looks like. Above that tent is higher octaves, higher vibrations, higher heavens. You can be still, you can look up and know that your Father has never took his eyes off of you. And that you are the center, the eye of your Father's attention. You are the center of it all. All right? Hey. It's all of it. Everything I'm saying is hey. Everything I'm saying is I am that I am. You know you're not spinning. You can reclaim your habitat. You can reclaim the land beneath your feet with your indigenous drop. You understand you can connect to the throne with your frequency drop. And you understand that your word, your scripture, your prophecy is for you. And that is your word. So you got your word, your frequency, your indigenous, and your flat understanding that this is a flatter terrain. It's not a ball. It's a flat terrain with mountains and valleys and peaks. and all this stuff like that, right? But you know you're not spinning. You know it extends past the waters, past the ice is more land. That's your habitat. And that's what Heya, has provided me to bring to you. That's the sword that I provide you so that you can swing it on your own, that you can have it on your own. You connect with your word, your scriptures, you understand your energy, you understand your indigenous, and you know you're not spinning on a ball. Those 4 things, you know what I'm saying? I mean, that's a foundation right there. That's a circle to stand on. That's a circle nobody can knock you off of. Captain Kush, love you, King. Keep dropping that drop fearlessly, my brother. All right. Jason Stewart asks, is there any other way to communicate with you on YouTube? Other than YouTube, I always give people, my 432 email, man. So get at me at music@432thedrop. You can also get at me at kingdrop at 432thedrop, but it gets so spam right now, I don't really check it as much. So get at me at music@432thedrop.com. Lord of the Universe 13. This king is awesome, man. He always has some great steady energy as well. You know what I'm saying? He was laughing at this comment that, this brother made in one of the videos about how Christians are the only ones that cannot be mind controlled and how the Christians will be saved at the end and stuff like that. So, I'm not going to get, but it's funny, you know what I'm saying, that when you understand you're indigenous here, then anybody who's claiming to be Christian is claiming to be that of which was brought over on the boats. All right, your commandments are here. That is your actual commandments. All right, that's your Israel, Ibri. Don't kill, don't steal. That's your basic community. How do you tune the entire community up? How do you keep them from being the beast? How do you keep them from being what this other stuff is, this fallen angel stuff? You know what I'm saying? Then you say, hey, man, don't kill, don't steal. Honor your mother and your father. All right. You say, don't cover your neighbor's wife. Don't bear false witness. One day out the week, keep it holy unto me. You know what I'm saying? These are things that you use for a community to govern a community. That is anti what these people teach in their laws. Right? So you're going to follow your law, your commandments, or the commandments of another kingdom. And there's way more laws in this America than there is in the Torah. In the Torah, some say there's 613 laws. America has over 2,000, 3,000 laws. Which kingdom do you want to live in? A kingdom with 3,000 laws or a kingdom with 613 laws? So it's way more complicated to live in this kingdom. You're following these laws, or else follow the law, follow the law. He disobeyed the law. He's a criminal. He's a criminal. Everybody looks down on these criminals because they broke one of the 2,000, 3,000 laws of this corporation. But your laws that have stood forever, 600, you just, those are done away with. You know what I'm saying? You've been brainwashed. And yes, the Christians have been brainwashed. Who's going to sign up to get vaccinated first? You know what I'm saying? Who's going to tell you that the laws are done away with? Who's going to tell you that Israel don't even matter, even though in Revelations, each one of the gates, all right, that the tribes are entering into have their name on it. 12 gates, 12 tribes. You're going into your tribal gates. If that's what's happening, and if this Jesus himself is saying, I only came for the house of Israel, but the average Christian today is going to say, Israel, I'm just a Christian. Jesus said, I only came for Israel. Israel, I'm just a Christian. Jesus said, I only came to gather the lost sheep of the house of Israel. That is it. That's why I'm here, to gather the sheep. He laid out his thesis for you. Now the Christians doesn't even think about gathering the house of Israel, right? So there's a disconnect from what this master teacher is saying in Christianity, right? This Jesus is saying, than what is actually being preached. If Revelations has 12 gates, 144,000 raised, these tribes are coming up. Why aren't Christians focused on waking up these tribes? Why are they claiming Christianity rather than claiming the tribe that they are? But this brother that was, on this video, I'm not going to point him out. I already said what I had to say on the video. But he was just saying that, hey, well, I'm a Christian and Christians are the only ones that can't be mind controlled. And Lord of the Universe 13 just replied, ha, 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 Christians really, ha, 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 ha. And I do understand because, come on, man. All right. Come on, man. So that's all I got to say about that. But Jay Wesson 30 kept it going, and Jay Wesson 30, kings to you, Jay Wesson 30. He said Christians are the first ones led by their 501c3s, reverend pastors, to the slaughter through the brainwashed baptism. Oops, they don't want to hear me though. So yes, it's a lot of brainwashing. It's a lot of theology. They brought it over to your shores if you were already here. So what were you rocking with? All right. You look at the dumb diverses, 1452. The Pope says, subjugate the pagans and Saracens. The pagans are those that weren't rocking with their idols. Right. So they called us pagans and we called them pagans. So in the dumb diverses, 1452 Papal Bull, when you look it up, he says, subjugate all those that don't rock with our idols. And the Saracens, the Moors, the Muslims, the black Islam, all that. The black Arabs, right? So they were against all of us, but we were already over here. When the Moors were already here, we were already here. Amorites, Edomites were here, Jebusites, all the sites, we were all here already. So when he finally knew that partition was being broken down by Columbus, then in 1452, the Pope said, all right, go subjugate them. Kings of Spain and Portugal, you have my authority to put them into perpetual servitude and to take their fortresses, to take everything from these people, take their land and put them into a perpetual cycle of servitude, and that is your slavery. And that was issued by the Pope, and he said the enemies of Christ, subjugate all of these enemies of Christ. That's your introduction to Christ. It wasn't before that. Here. Okay? So they came here, and so we're psychologically now supposed to thank them and say, thank you so much for subjugating and slaughtering over 300 million of us in the name of your idol. When you said, accept this cross or die, thank you for doing that, because now I know this Christ. When as before, we had a direct energy transfer. Even those that were worshiping the idols and the sun and all the other crap still understood that there was a creator, and they knew that there was a direct flow. But now we're just Christians. So that's a super hijack. That's a hijack that comes with someone saying that your writings are old and ours are new. Old Testament, New Testament. And now we're brainwashed into just following this new book. And without this new book, somehow we can't find Christ, and therefore there is no salvation because we don't know Christ. You see? But before, in Isaiah, the Most High says, I am the Lord your Savior, and beside me there is none. How do you fuck that up? How do you ignore that? Only a brainwash can ignore that. I am the Lord your Savior. In the book of Isaiah, I'm the Lord your Savior. And beside me, there is none. Rule number one, commandment number one, place no other God before me. Right? We can assume that means beside me. But Christ says, I'm beside my Father, his throne. I'm going to come back and save y'all. So now we say, oh, we need Jesus to come back and save us. When our writings say we need the Creator to come back. So you got a group of people that are calling on the Son and a group of people that are calling on the Creator. But some of the people that are calling on the Son still say, well, I call on the Creator in the name of the Son. I call on the Creator so in the name of the Son. I do all this for the Creator in the name of the Son. You see the hijack? The brainwashed hijack. And it's love to all my brothers and sisters. That's just where we are. You know what I'm saying? I hold no bones about it again. I'm only going to be here a few more weeks. Then you'll find me at 42 to drop exclusively and only as I make my departure from this particular illusion. You know what I'm saying? So I love y'all. I'm keeping it real with y'all. You know what I'm saying? As real as reality is. I'm trying to wake you up out the illusion. A lot of our families doing the same thing. But we are not cool with being hijacked. We are not cool with calling another daddy or another God or another savior when the Most High says that I'm your only savior. How do you go from being I'm your only savior? Isn't that a good time in the book of Isaiah to say, well, not really. I mean, there is going to be the Son, and he's really going to be the one that actually does the saving. You know what I'm saying? No, he said, I'm going to come back, and I'm coming for blood. Oh, I'm coming for blood. Oh, I've been waiting for this. Imagine what you would do if you saw, you know what I'm saying, if your children were kidnapped and mutilated and ripped apart, literally. Like, I mean, these people wrote this stuff down in their books. I'm reading it. These conquistadors, Spaniards, and Portuguese, they would take our babies, one would hold one arm, the other would hold the other arm, and they'll rip them apart. Or they'll take them by the ankles and just bash their heads. And they did that in the name of Christianity. They burnt the crosses, the KKK, in the name of Christianity, and then they ate you after they lynched you in the name of being Christians. And now they think, oh, well, Christianity means pure. You know, we're the pure, pure, poor. And in their minds, Christian means pure. But the track record says differently. And the track record today, because they don't care about the Most High seed, his actual energy on this earth. They just think it's a belief thing because that makes them feel better. If all I gotta do is believe in this Jesus, it's all good. But see, was this particular hijack rocking with the people? Did this particular hijack free the people? Think about it. In the time of Jesus, did he free the people? Or did he do his thing, walk to and fro, while his people were in captivity, in the Greco captivity, the Roman captivity, captivity in Greece, Medes, then Rome? Oh, he warned them though, and then he bounced. And then he said, I'm going to come back and I'll be your savior in a couple thousand years. I'm going to rise in 3 days and I'm going to leave y'all, and left us in captivity for thousands of years. But we're supposed to be hoping that this particular son comes back. You see the hijack? All of your Mashiachs, all of your Messiahs, all of them save their people. Moses took his people out of captivity. There are a couple of different Mashiachs named Judas that Lex Will brings out that took his people out of captivity. These people were saviors in the fact that they literally took us out off the plantations, you see? But we were given one from across the ocean, across the waters, that represent the idol that broke down the partition, that now we should be thankful to have this idol slaughtering us, in the name of this idol slaughtering us, that we are now pagans to this idol. But who's rocking the idol? The Pope, the this, the that, the that, the that, right? This is very serious, people. You know, I'm not just being long-winded for a reason. It's very serious. You are the direct energy flow, the direct energy, the direct breath of that which is I am that I am. There is no savior beside I am that I am. There is no love beside I am that I am. There is no source. There is no power beside that power that is consciousness. People say they're conscious, but you can't be conscious of on your own. When you're conscious of the fact that you are living in a system. And you're not spinning on a ball that this system is a man-made created system. Not man-made, it's a created system. Not by man, but by our power. It was intelligently created, should I say. And you could say, oh, so it's a spinning ball of water. Yeah, but you need gravity for that. And there is no gravity. So that system is false. Our system, you don't need gravity. You know that something is denser. You know, when it falls down, this nail is denser than the atmosphere of water particles, you know. Oxygen is still water in some degree, right? So it's denser. That's it. You don't need to crush the water on a ball and spin it at 1,000 miles per hour and hurl it at 67,000 per hour. And you need gravity to keep all that water from flying off. And that's what water does when it spins. So that's the only explanation. It's a force that you have to believe in. That's only a theory, not a law. So because it's a theory, not a law, you know that they haven't proved it. So you say, oh, did the Most High create a spinning ball of water? If he created a spinning ball of water, do you not think there would be a whole chapter dedicated to this spinning ball of water? Or would he just say, you know, I separate the water from the waters. Water's above, water's below. You know what I'm saying? Real simple. Real simple. It doesn't have to be complex into 1,000 equations. So, love to Jay Weston, love to Lord of the Universe 13, man. These are great, great names here, man. This is just great stuff. Higher Mark, live and direct. Live and direct, never been to Cali, but got a brother that lives in Merced. Beautiful visual. He's talking about the joint. You can check it out. El Yakim in the Wilderness, Wildwood Park. We had a great time. Took the family up there hiking and all that. Yeah, not too far from, one of my spots out here. You know what I mean? Where I be laying low. But it's like way in the mountains, man. So that's a cool little spot. If you in Cali, anywhere, check out Wildwood. And that's just one of our many indigenous areas, outside of the man-made cities. But please subscribe to Higher Mark. The king, man, throws nothing but uppercuts. Nothing but uppercuts. And that strong right cross hitting you upside the head with that real shit on a steady basis. Rah the Great One just got the phone with this king. He's having a beautiful Shabbat. Blessed to Rah the Great. He said best cribs show ever. You know, that was a fun episode. Again, check that out. I mean, that fun video, Eliakim in the wilderness. And I, you know what I'm saying, I don't want to keep going forever. I'm just doing a quick June roll call. Kings to M.A. Truth, My Truth, Sparkman. Again, these YouTube days are some of the dopest ones because, you know, you really see a lot of creativity, man. M.A., quote-unquote, M.A. Truth, Sparkman. All right, Kings to this brother. He said, what's equally disturbing is that there are individuals who can stop the rest of us from finding out the truth. These people control, or these people control, or we are given to people control the earth, the air, the water. What the fuck? So what the king is bringing out, he's talking about that flat drop, and he's saying what's disturbing is that these people are controlling our education. They're controlling how we view our habitat. But wouldn't you? Again, which model would you give people that you wanted to control? Would you give them the globe earth? Or would you give them the flat earth? Which one is more control? Which one says, here's all the land, don't worry about exploring anything. Matter of fact, you can't explore. Matter of fact, you're spinning, and in order to get into more land, you will have to literally leave this spinning ball, take a rocket ship, and go to Mars. So don't even worry about that. Or the flat earth, which has many different models, but the infinite flat earth is one that, you know, people are looking at to in terms of having more land past the Antarctic circle, right? So this gives you, I mean, you can look at these old Japanese maps coming out the Japanese caves. We dropped that in the flat drop previously. It's just a bunch of more, it's like so much more land past this Arctic circle that they don't let you cross. This Antarctic treaty, you know, all 53 countries, powerhouses keep you. They guard the whole circle, the whole perimeter. They guard that. All this has been guarded by a treaty of all the most powerful governments. And you live here in the Middle Earth. And every time you take your boat out, uninvited, it might not come back. You need to get one of them tours that you can go around the islands of Antarctica, but they're not going to let you explore and just start walking or do exploration of your own 1,000 miles somewhere. You know what I'm saying? Nah. So it's very disturbing this king is saying that there are individuals who can stop the rest of us from finding out the truth. For a moment, yeah, king, but, you know, that truth is coming out there. So Queens to Sheila Bourne. She says, the water for all your work in dropping knowledge and sharing with us. I also use and enjoy the Life Change tea at getthetea.com. I think she's talking about something that was dropped in the video with the martial law, smiles, and all that, the whole series. So getthetea.com, I guess, is a good site to get some good tea. You know, check it out. They offer amazing natural products that my family and I are using to keep our temples cleansed, I believe she's saying. So the water to you, my beautiful sister Sheila Bourne. All right, Winifred Holcomb. Always give love to Winifred Holcomb. King said, yeah, I've been rocking with this mixtape for a while. Kings to everybody that rock with that B.O.B. listening party, man. You know, I just be clowning. But great times, man. Kings to B.O.B., man, that album's crazy. That mixtape is crazy. So Winifred Holcomb, a lot of these kings been rocking with that, man. So Clarence Washington III gave some great drop on that video as well. Clarence Washington III is like assassin. Clarence Washington III hit you with a bow and arrow, man. You don't even know where it's coming from. It might just be some crazy links. It might just be some drop. So much of this drop comes from what Clarence Washington III drops, or Winifred Holcomb might drop, or Hallway might drop. You know what I'm saying? I mean, so many of these kings got just nothing but, you know, steady hands, and they shoot that arrow, man, straight to the target. And they just hit it. These kings are in it, man. These guys is in it to win it. For real, for real. And I mean, these guys is in it for the takeover. They're not in it just to play around with some knowledge. They're not in it to debate. The stuff they're bringing out, the stuff they're researching is body bag. I mean, the death of this illusion, right? So, love to Clarence Washington III. Dre AB said, I've been rocking this mixtape for a minute. Lovely Manna, a great sister, you know, she's always giving love. Let's see who, almost. Love to Nakia London. You know, we got a lot of sisters that's rocking in this drop. You know, Nation is this beautiful vibration that's bringing a great balance to this platform. So thank you, sisters and queens. That's just like, yo, you know what I'm saying? I'm with this. I understand it. I understand order. We need you to rock in this order with us. You know what I'm saying? We need you to come alive so that our kingdom can flourish, so that we can say, hey, now we can build a kingdom. We can build a civilization. Without our sisters, what can we do? She said, damn this shit. Do we fight or do we run? Or truly, let me get myself situated. All right. So, agua. I'm doing a lot of talking. I'm 50 minutes in. I ain't even got to Exodus yet, so. My bad. Last two. Nakia London, she says, damn this shit. Do we fight or do we run? And truly, I don't believe there is no running from this. We are going to have to fight for our lives, our children's lives, and our home. This is some serious shit, and I can't breathe right now. It's time to suit up and trust in Hey. All there is, man. You see, when we're in order, you know what to do. When you're in order, you feel that way. But now, we say, do we fight or do we run? You see? That's the quandary that we're in, right? That's what we keep hearing from people, like, fight or run, kingdrop, you know what I mean? Like, we gotta fight, we run. What we do is walk out of the plantation. What we do is not necessarily, if you're going to fight, how you going to do it? You're going to just pick up a hammer? Ugh. Alright. You're going to pick a hammer up and just hit the streets and say, man, I'm tired. I mean, yeah, you feel like that, right? All these, you want to protest, you see people getting gunned down. I want to take this hammer and just get my King Griffey on. Ah! You know what I mean? You want to just bash your head in. But how far are you going to get? Oh, you got a gun. How far are you going to get? Do you run? I mean, not necessarily running, right? You're not just, we're running. But we're assembling. What does the word say? What does Haya say? She says, it's time to trust in Haya. Well, let's trust in Haya's word. Right? So in your Torah, when you look, he says, hey, assemble yourselves. Gather the children. Where do you gather? Do you gather in man-made cities? Where do you assemble? Do you assemble in man-made cities? Does Haya say, I'm going to plead with you face-to-face in man-made cities? Or does he come to a high vibrational environment, your natural wilderness? Does he say, turn your eyes to Zion, turn your eyes to the wilderness, meet me there? So you have to get to walking. You've always got to walking. When have you not migrated? When have you not had to migrate as a family to a better area for your family? It's not about you. It's about the family. It's about using your tools for the family. You got a great career? Cool. Start thinking about how you can use that to build the family, to build the community. How can you apply your services for free? Why would you do that? Because somebody else is going to apply their services to you for free. That's called freedom. That's a kingdom of freedom. We don't need currency. You only need currency if you want debt and you want to control somebody with some illusion. You want freedom. Then think about how to apply your tools and your talents for Haya to build his children, to build your community. Then you're going to see your whole business really start to flourish once you understand what the order is. That you're only doing this to build a community, to get rid of the illusion of seclusion and get back to your community, your unity, teamwork, make a dream work. Rah, rah, the great. Alright, so she said, damn this shit, do we fight or do we run? I truly don't believe that there is no running from this. And we are going to have to fight for our lives, our children's lives, and our home. Our home. Our home is where? Here. She's saying it. We've been invaded. We got to fight for this place, right? We got to stand up for our kingdom. So where do we assemble? Where do we become a nation again? Where do we become a tribe again? Where do we get cleansed before we return back into our holy land, into Jerusalem, Jerusalem? When do we return back to our mainland in South America, the part of Atlantis that wasn't sunk? The center, right? So we have to assemble ourselves, and I think the Four Corners is a great place to do it. When? Now. That's your first step. It's not picking up a hammer and getting the bashing. You know what I'm saying? It's not getting sprayed in the streets. All right? And that's not running. It's a symbol. It's getting off the plantation so you can become a tribe and understand what it takes. How to shoot a bow and arrow. How to hunt. All right? How to have actual, you know what I'm saying, real abilities. You know, how to get your abilities back, man. How to get your perspective back. Right now you stink. You got your high-priced cologne on, but you stink. You go to the wilderness, you're funky. You go with your three-piece suit, or you think you look good with all your makeup. You look like shit in the wilderness, man. You're going to have to go back into the wilderness to get natural again. It's going to take a while before you don't stink, when you start to actually smell like nature again, smell like the environment again. All right, first, nature's going to look at you like, man, this is 440 hertz for real. It's going to take a while for you to get into 432 back into the wilderness. Where do you assemble? That's when we're pointing our eyes to Zion National Park, these areas in Utah, you know what I'm saying, that are preserves, that are beautiful. People go camping there all the time, and it is actually your land by birthright. Those are your animals on your land by birthright. I don't see any better place to be when the shit hits the fan. Last one, as promised. All right, 2. Serve the Creator only. Love to this king. He said, man, I'll more than likely be heading out to Zion, Utah, Thursday on bike. So I guess that'll be either this or last Thursday. So the king might already be out there on bike. He says, shalom to all wanting to serve Heya. Shalom to all wanting to serve Heya. Shalom to all that are wanting to serve Heya. Again, don't come into this community thinking that, well, I don't want to serve. You better come with the energy to serve. I got to serve. We all got to serve. All right? It's time to serve Heya. And in serving Heya, you serve your brothers, your sisters, your wife. You know what I'm saying? Your mother, your father. You honor them. You serve them. What do you need? Your children, what do you need? You do all this stuff anyway, right? So now it's time to do it together to serve us as a community. All right? We got some wonderful chefs. Look, you got to think about how dope this really is. You got chefs. All right, you got doctors, you got dentists, you got people that know how to build, you got people that know how to deal with children and education and properly teach children. So we got a lot of talent that's going to be coming into, you know, it could be a small community, could be a larger community, but at least it's a base. If you don't like that base, go do your own thing, but get out of the man-made environments. That's the best thing I can tell you. Lex Will can tell you. Support that GoFundMe. That's the best thing that we got cooking right now. All right? And if that's inadequate, something else will present itself that's adequate. So that's a start. That's a place for us to be in. You know what I'm saying? And it's something I believe in. So that's just me. Last comment of the day. All right. Two more. Two more. Wonderful Holcomb says, Zion for Passover 2017. Wonderful's king, man. I love you, man. Yeah, man, why not, man? That'd be dope, man, to be in Zion for Passover 2017. So I think that's a wonderful vibration to meditate on. And then my last one right here, man, is IG45N2. IG45N2. He says, or she says, thanks for all the info. Everything just seems so clear to me. I wish it was clear for family and friends. Everyone just looks at me like I'm crazy whenever I say something. I've been told I'm going to go crazy with all this info to give them. My brother Hallway says same situation, except it actually gets through to my family briefly until they go back to calling me crazy and worth shit. I respond, I just say the narrow road, the narrow road, the narrow road. All roads don't lead to hell. That is an illusion to think that you can take any road you want and you're going to get above that vibrational layer. Look, man, you're going to miss this particular, journey. You're going to miss it. You're going to miss it thinking that you could just fall back and take your sweet time as if hey has time to wait for this individual to get their minds right. You're going to have to choose up. You're going to have to suit up. You're going to have to stay up. All right. You're going to have to drop or die. You're going to have to get with it or you will get left on. I tell you this all the time. And finally, so yeah, back to IG 4, 5, and 2. Thanks for all the info. Everything seems so clear to me. That's how some of us are. Now we understand how the separation really happens, how holy, whatever, really means to separate. The Most High said, separate yourselves. And sometimes that does include our blood relatives. You know what I'm saying? We're going to have to separate for a time and just lead by example. Christians say this stuff all the time, right? So I don't want to sound like that. I don't want to say, oh, well, you lead by example. Your family will see that you love Christ and Christ. Everyone says this stuff. I'm just saying, when you lead by example, what the Most High is going to do, when you're just keeping his commandments, when you're keeping it simple, when you understand that there's no other God beside the Most High, there's no other hijack. You pray to Heya, no one else, not in the name of no one else. Direct energy flow. That is Torah. You understand? So when that's back in order, man, that example that he's going to show through you, the things that he's going to do, this power is going to come through you. That will be a wonderful example for anyone around you. And love to you back, IG 4, 5, and 2. And just back again to my man, M.A. Truth Sparkman. He says, only those with ears to hear and hearts ready to unite will do the work. I'll say it one more time because now you see why I had to drop this as my very last comment in the roll call for June. June roll call. M.A. Truth Sparkman says, only those with ears to hear and hearts ready to unite will do the work. It requires work. What's the work? It might be walking, right? Might be walking out the cities. That's the work. The work is tuning up your family. Yelling at them at 2 o'clock in the morning if you got to, man. Saying, yo, get your camping gear, man. Babylon is falling. You don't want to be here. We have a choice. If you're here and you stay here by voluntary choice, then that action that comes, every action has a reaction. The reaction of the action of you choosing inaction, again, the reaction of the action of you choosing inaction. You choose inaction, it's an action, right? So that reaction to you choosing inaction will be chaos. But if you actually understand that the Most High is real and that takes you into the wilderness, then he will prove it to you. Give your father a chance to react to you. He's waiting for you to give him an opportunity to react. You are the action. You're the thought. You're the energy. He breathed it into you. You wake up, you do an action. You walk out their cities back into your environment. Now you've set the stage for Heya to react and give you freedom. Give you your vibration back and make you a king and a queen on your land again. That's the reaction of all there is, right? The universal law, cause and effect. Nah, Heya. Your action gives Heya a response. Again, you respond differently. His response might be slaughtering you. You don't listen purposely. You voluntarily choose chaos in your life. His reaction might be slaughtering you, because slaughtering chaos is order. Slaughtering chaos is order. Don't make that the reaction of the supreme intellect of the universe. Again, when you're conscious of the fact that you are in a consciousness, a conscious grid, and that there has been another artificial grid with these pyramids set up a long time ago, which is why it's on the back of your dollar. That's the frequency. That's the slave vibration that Thoth put on the barbarians in Kemet in the 8th tablet, when he said they came at me with spears and I raised my staff and put a slave vibration on them and made them grovel at my feet with magic science. Tablet 8, Emerald Tablets. Research it, read it. Okay? That's the slave vibration that started in the Americas. Atlantis, Atlas. The first son of Poseidon, Atlas. The plural form is Atlantis. Many islands. Some were sunk, some were not. The man-made ones were definitely sunk. The center of it, Peru, Jerusalem. Columbus said, I'm going to America to recapture Mount Zion, to recapture the holy city. Who was here protecting it? What melanated tribe of people were protecting Peru, Mexico? Was it not the Aztec, the Maya, all these people, right? That didn't call themselves Aztec and Maya? That didn't call themselves Anasazi or First People? That didn't call themselves Israelites, right? Hebrew. We're getting this, but get off the titles like Let Us Find the Truth say, and just know vibration, energy, frequency. You are the frequency of that which is above the firmament, above the vibration. Simple and plain. And this vibration is coming back to life, and you've been humbled because you disconnected it. Sound the alarm. Sound the alarm. All right. Shabbat Shalom. That is our June roll call. Oops. Let me keep this up so my battery keeps going. That's our June roll call, man. No, real talk. I love you, Drop Nation. You got the drop. We got the drop. Together, we got the drop. United, we got the drop. There is no dividing us. There is no separating us. We're awakening together, and we got the drop. We are Drop Nation, right? So we're going to have a title. I like that one. We got the drop. So I love y'all. Keep it going, man. Look forward to checking back in with you guys for the July roll call. And without further ado, the second Sefer of Moshe, called Shema, also called Exodus. This is in that Sefer. It's like $70-80, but it's worth it, man. I mean, you know, it goes into a lot more drop, you know. Of course, you got to take the babies out, you know what I mean? You know, this is other people interpreting our writing, so it can never be correct. But, you know, these people, this particular drop, you know, did their, you know, maybe their best, I guess, to, you know, do some things, you know, more in line with the breakdown. Here you can see the table of contents, so you can get a feel of what's in here. All right, it's broken down into your Torah. All right. Then you got what they call the second books, the Jubilees, the Enoch. So they got the Hanak, the Enoch, the Yashar. Then they got the Nevi'im, the prophets. You see all the prophets organized, all those books organized with the prophets. All right. Then you see the Treasar, the 12. So they break down Hosea, Joel, Amos, Obadiah. You know, those are all, you know, Tanakh books right there. What else? Right. Then you got the writings, the scrolls, Second Temple, Synoptic Gospels. You know what I mean? Then they'll get into Synoptic Gospels, or, you know, they got the New Testament in here, but they got a lot more drop other than that. You can see it right here, the writings, the scrolls, Second Temple, Maccabees 1 through 4, Ezra 3 and 4, right? So these are interesting books to look at. Like I said, you got your other, you know, New Testament stuff, right? So that's why I said, get the babies out the bathwater. You ain't. You get the rest of the New Testament here if you want to Sefer through that. Again, Sefer just means book, you know, or connecting the dots, you know, specifically to connect it together. When you have the Bible, it's the Biblios, it's a bunch of books that they're trying to connect. Here's another attempt of Sefering, of connecting the dots, which is only connecting your dots, your heritage. So when someone says this is your new heritage, your New Testament, you say, well, my New Testament's going to come with the new kingdom. Does this New Testament come with the new kingdom? Are all the prophecies of Daniel, have they been done already? Has knowledge been abounding to and fro? Well, now it is, but is that what happened when they brought my New Testament in 1400s? Did that happen with this New Testament, this new covenant? Did I receive the new kingdom in the 1400s? So why should I accept your book with your idol of a cross, wood and stone, and now I can't do one single thing or say one single prayer without saying, in the Son's name? There is no Savior beside me. But I'm going to put this in the Son's name, right? So that's the hijack. That's the hijack, all right? So, just want to take you through that one more time. Let's get to this, man. I'm going to jump right into it. And my legs are hurting, so I'm kind of, you know, I've been standing for an hour and 10 minutes in one place. I'm not super, you know, I'm not Superman yet. So I'm going to readjust this. Actually, what I'm going to do even better, so this is not too long. It's already been an hour and 10 minutes. I'm actually going to be wise. I'm going to cut it right here. And I'm going to do a whole nother drop starting. I'm literally going to just start right away. But you might get the drop a little later. Don't worry. Be patient. We're going to get into this Exodus, this second Sefer of Moshe called Shemot, also Exodus. And we're going to start reading that next. All right, so I'm going to end this here, man. Stay up, suit up, choose up. I love y'all. This has been the June roll call. Keep vibing, keep subscribing, and keep, giving these comments, and this vibration keeps our steady energy flowing, keeps us truly tuning up in the right direction. So I love bringing this out. I love accepting and absorbing what you're bringing and shooting it right back to you, man, in the spirit of just coming together, in the spirit of unity, in the spirit of remembering. I love y'all, man, and until next time, we out.